everybody. I hope you're doing well. Just setting this up still. Yes, I still have painter's tape on my window. Shush. Let me get some light and say hello. So, I'm Katrina. This is Sow and Tare. You are in the right place. Even if you're here by accident, stay. See what's going on. And yeah, we got rain. Just a little. It was supposed to rain today and tomorrow, so that's all right. And yeah, there you go. So, as a live chat, we do this every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, except for the first Monday of the month, which we do on Thursday. So next week, we'll do it on Thursday. And because next week is June. Amazing, right? Amazing. All right. Hope everybody's doing good. Let's see who's here. Verna's here. Welcome, Verna. Verna is Vase Place in blue with a little wrench, and she's a moderator. Hey, Katrina, first like, first comment. Awesome. Verna has a channel that she does live chats on Saturdays, so check that out. And J-Bot's here. J-Bot's Ecology today. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you all the way from Canada. All right. She says, good day to all from Huron County, Midwestern Ontario, Canada, in the lee of Lake Huron. Welcome. How is your weather doing over there? I don't even know what the rest of the world is doing weather-wise. I just know we have some interesting things coming up here. So, yeah. Yep. All right. There I am. Yep, I am here. I decided like 2 minutes before going live, maybe I should pee. So I did. Aren't you glad I'm sharing these things? Okay. Refresh the window. Yes. Good call, Verna. PJ's here. Welcome, PJ. PJ says, hey. Hey. And Farmel's here. Good evening. Hey. Good evening, Farmel. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right. Everybody's just saying hello. Yes, Ecology today is Jay Dixon, also known as J-Bot, because she's information. I want to use like the conjunction junction. That's her function, but with information, I don't know. Someone come up with something. All right. All right. Well, people are starting to come in, and I want to say welcome. No more bear news. If you guys missed last week, there was a bear right there. And it was a little one. It came a few times. I haven't seen it since that video last Monday, and so that's a good thing. And yes, so Jbot says, I have been mistaken for AI as I am information. Yes, I was trying to come up with some like rhymey thing though. Something cutesy. Oh, anyway. Week in review. We saw it today. Verna says, yep. So that video I showed you guys before it went out on a video last Monday on the live chat. And then yeah, Verna, I did put it into the week in review. So if you haven't seen it, look at the week in review. That was a video that came out today. And it's a yearling. Skittish still, which is good. But getting into neighbors' trash cans and stuff like that, which is not good. I did make for my first run to the transfer station since I've been here. I don't make that much trash, and I don't put food trash in the trash. Like, the chickens eat it. And so I didn't really have that much, but I'm like, I have one bag that's a little stinky because I cleaned out some stuff. I'm just going to go. So we don't have a dump. We have a transfer station. So literally you go pay your money and throw your bags of garbage into a dumpster like thing, which is like a container that goes on a semi truck, but you're above it, so you don't have to like throw it over. You throw it there, and that's good. Hey, Misty. Misty's here. She's my neighbor. I was just talking about our bear. Have you had any more visits to your property? Because I have not had any indication of any visits since Monday. So that is a question, and welcome. All right. PJ says, I still only have one row in the garden planted, had rain all weekend, and ended up going to see my uncle in the hospital yesterday and today. I hope he's doing okay. Yeah, I haven't planted the stuff in the garden yet. I've heard from people May 15th, and I've also heard from people June 1st, and I'm like, I'm going with June 1st. So that's maybe next weekend I'll do that. Or this coming weekend. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so no more bear. So I did hear a gunshot sometime this week, like a single shot, and I didn't know if it was to scare something away or if someone got a bear or got something else, but I did hear that, and I'm wondering if it is no more. But I don't know. Anyway, stay safe. Okay, Verna says that mysterious plant that came up is borage. Awesome. Just bringing it along to different properties, aren't you? Oh my gosh. Borage is awesome. For those of you that don't know about borage is really, really great. It's the bees absolutely love it. The everything about the plant is edible. It does get a little bit prickly, like not thorny, but like just to the touch, a little prickly, a little irritating when the leaves get a little older. Most people are familiar with it as a flower that you can freeze in ice cubes and float in your drink. But you can eat the leaves too, especially when they're young. And if they're older, hey, dry them, dehydrate them, and you're good. I've used it in ziti sauce, and it works really, really great because it tastes like cucumber. So it's a cucumber replacement when you don't have cucumber. All right. Jbot says, my communication information, my operation is information. Yeah, Jbot attempts at rhyming. Good news. The property is bare of bears. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be bare of bears. There's bears on the property. I know that, but yeah. So Misty says the crazies on your side of the mountain. My side is your side too, dear. Yeah. So anyway, I haven't seen the bear. Something got sprayed by a skunk, but I don't know what. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Verna planted a few more Target beets. Good. I got sweet potato slips in the mail. It's not Verna's, sadly. The one that she sent to me died in the post. Took too long. But I did order some, and hopefully they'll look better than they do now. So, Verna, you are responsible for me ordering sweet potato slips because I wasn't going to do that this year. And I'm like, oh, now I have to have some. So, I got, oh, what did I get? The one that starts with the M that's purple. I think it's a Japanese one. I think it might be the one that you sent me. Anyway, that one, and then I got white yams, which is not actually a yam, it's a sweet potato. Sweet potatoes and yams are separate things. But yeah. Yep. PJ says, but did get strawberries planted in hanging planters with my garden. Awesome. Uncle's not doing well. He was intubated yesterday morning, and my aunt plans on having it removed tomorrow. Oh, okay. I'll let him go in peace. I'm glad you're able to see him, and I'm glad I'm guessing the family's in agreement, and I hope peace comes. Yep, that is what I'm hoping. And as Verna says, blessings to your uncle and your family during this time. Absolutely. Missy says, grateful for the rain. Yes, it just started. Now we have sunshine. It's been cloudy most of the day, and it finally let loose a little bit. I let Ring go out, and then he's like meowing at the door. He's like, I got wet. Can I come in? Yeah. Yep. Oh boy. Yeah, so the sweet potatoes that I got, Verna, the one the one Muscali, I'm mixing it up with the name for a duck. Anyway, the one that starts with the M that's purple, which we had talked about before, and then white yam, which is a sweet potato. Yeah. Misty says, "Have you got poison oak yet? It's everywhere. Yeah, it's leafed out here. I don't have a whole lot of it here. I have enough, more than enough, but I don't have a whole lot of it. I will be systematically going through and getting rid of it because it's, even though it's native and all that, and we're the only ones allergic. Yep, you know that primates are the only ones allergic to poison oak and poison ivy. Isn't that great? And so that is something that I will be systematically getting rid of. I will cut it and then paint it with Roundup. I'm not going to be spraying the world with Roundup. That's not something I'm interested in doing. But when you paint it, when you cut it and immediately paint it, it soaks it in, and I'm talking undiluted. And that will kill it. So that is my plan. And I have the stuff. I need to start over here on the other side for make sure my neighbor fences are good with that. So yeah, poison oak is up, and it's not quite flowering yet, but it is very green. Okay, so PJ says not much family. You know, yes, we all agree. That's important. Lung cancer led to brain and now lymph nodes. Oh my gosh. That's a lot. That's a lot. Verna says I must not be a primate. I don't believe I'm allergic either. But here's the thing. When I was in a plant communities class, the very first plant we were taught was poison oak. And the instructor, the professor, told us a story about how she was never allergic to it. And then her dog went missing. It's a very sad story. Her dog went missing. They were up against public land. And so she packed a bag and went looking for him. And she heard him, and he was down in a crevice. And so she fought through the poison oak to get to him, pulled him out, fought through it to get back. And because she basically lacerated her arms with poison oak, she got it in her blood. She wasn't allergic at all. And then it got in her blood, and she spent 6 days in the hospital, and the dog didn't make it. So if I get in it, I get in it, and then I know what to do. I don't. I still take a cool shower. So the steps are, don't get in it. If you do get in it, know what know what touched it, and then don't touch your face or, steering wheels other people are using, stuff like that. But to also cool shower with dish soap that is good, like a Palmolive or a Dawn, and that gets the grease off, and you're going to be rubbing, because that's how you get grease off. It's an oil that you're trying to get off, that you will get off. And so anything that cuts grease is good. Don't skimp on the brand on that. Palmolive or Dawn, that's what I would recommend. I use Palmolive because it has the no, is it sulfate? Something. Anyway, it's the first one that did that. So that, don't have people traipse behind you. Like if you're leading someone to something, don't be like, oh, I'm just going to walk through the poison oak. My boss did that to a client once. And because he didn't get it. And then, if you do get exposed, wash it off. Put your pants in the washing machine when you get in the house. And yeah, there you go. So poison oak, you can get it from a dog. So if a dog runs through poison oak, you can get it by petting the dog. So I will be at some point systematically going through and eliminating as much as I can, because of potential risk to other people, not to me. So yeah. How do you get rid of it? That's exactly it. So Roundup does work, but Roundup is very controversial because it does do bad things. So don't broadcast. it will work to broadcast spray, but you're going to kill everything there. And then there's going to be stuff that stays in the soil because you just put it all over the place. If you put it into the individual components of Roundup do break down. And glyphosate, someone correct me on the name, glyphosate, whatever it is one of the things that's in there and does have severe effects to people. Now, my understanding, and this is my understanding only, and you're welcome to nicely and factually counter me on this. My understanding is a lot of the lawsuits when it comes to Roundup and glyphosate, I never say it right. Whatever it is, isn't it? Is from people who are pesticide and herbicide applicators. So like it's their job to go and spray all these things. And number one, they weren't told about the cancer risk, because there's cancer risk. They're having a higher contact with it than you or I would in our normal lives. And then also I would wear a suit and gloves and all of that. But it does break down quickly. So that's why I'm thinking that it has to be something with that or widespread use, because they have used it from airplanes and they have used it from, helicopters and stuff. And I don't agree with that. I agree with treating the plant that you're treating and only treating that plant. Yes, some will get into the soil around that plant, but to me, it's worth it to just say, I don't have this plant here. So spraying will also go further than you need, and it will affect other plants, and it will also maybe carry on the wind and all that. So I don't recommend spraying. I did actually contact a friend of mine who is in restoration ecology, and they do a bunch of mitigation plantings, and they have, sometimes they have to deal with poison oak. And this is what he said to do. This is something that my cousin suggested I use for like English ivy. I had some English ivy at my old place, and I cut it, I painted it, it never came back, which is amazing for English ivy, because English ivy takes over the world. So I asked him, like, do you think this is a good thing? Like, is there something else that I should use? Like, what would you use? He goes, no, I would use that. I would use it full strength, and there's no issues. It denatures in a couple days, and then you just don't use it. You don't use it if it's going to rain within 48 hours. So that was his recommendation. Again, this is, I'm telling you what I remember him telling me. But painting it on is going to be better on the environment and better for you, because you're not going to be breathing it. Yeah, so that's my understanding. If you guys have different understandings, nicely let us know. And yes, I know it's a touchy subject. I plan on using that for that, and for the French broom or Scotch broom, whichever it is. I have a relatively small section of that. And that is very hard to kill otherwise, unless you're pulling it up. And I have some pretty large ones. So, and I would do the same thing, cut it and then paint it on full strength, like use the concentrate. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts. Brenda says, just don't do that on a windy day. Exactly. So that's why that's another reason not to spray. Yeah. J-Bot says, when I get into poison ivy, it goes systemic in my body. A lot of people that happens. It's crazy. Crazy. I am sorry you have to deal with that. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Misty, it is an awful story. A shower with Dawn dish soap will wash it away. Yeah, but cool shower. The key word there is cool. Like, it doesn't even have to be dish soap. It has to be something that cuts the grease, cuts the oil. And honestly, if all you have out there in the world and you're out there, whatever, grab some dirt and just go like this, because that will dry up the oil. And and get in there and just like dry up the oil. You have dirt all over the place, but it'll be better. But when you open up the pores, when you sweat or when you have a hot shower, that opens up the pores, which then the oil can get in. So that's the thing there. Verna says, and cats. I'm guessing you mean if the cats go in the poison oak, then you can get it from them too. Yeah, you can get it from whatever goes in there. Yeah. Yep. Get goats, they eat it. PJ, I have thought about goats. The thing about goats here is either I need to be with them 100% of the time or they need a livestock guardian something. And I'm not ready for that. But yes, goats eat it. For sure. Yep, exactly. So JBot says use Roundup rarely and responsibly. Yep. Last chance when all else fails. Exactly, Verna. Glyphosate. Thank you. Thank you. Verna says, if I was you, I would use a face mask. Exactly. Yeah, I don't think you need to if you're painting it on because it doesn't go aerial at that point. It's physically you have a paintbrush, you cut it, you have a paintbrush, you paint it on. I will have a suit. I'm not going to wear my regular clothes when I do that. Yeah. Anyway, note, this is not how the manufacturer tells you to use it. So don't blame me if you use too much or whatever. Like I should put in this thing. Yeah. So ecology today. Good point. We don't have jewelweed here. So jewelweed, touch me not, counters poison ivy. So there's a plant near poison oak or poison ivy, wherever it grows, that is a counteracting, like its partner. Jewelweed is in the Midwest. Apparently it's in Canada as well. And that you basically just, I don't know if you have to chew it up or not. I don't remember how to use it. Anyway, you crush it and put it on and it'll counteract it. I've recently heard something here that I will not repeat because I have not verified. But then also I do know mugwort, which if it does grow here, it doesn't grow in great amount because I haven't seen it on my property yet. But mugwort is, it sounds like something from Harry Potter. It's a real thing. It is, oh my gosh, what's the genus name? Artemisia vulgaris, something like that. And we have what here, Misty? Jewelweed? Jewelweed has a yellow flower. What has a purple flower? A purple flower. Do we have that here? It exists, the purple flower. Oregon. There's an invasive plant. I'll have to look into that because I don't recognize that plant. If we have it, I don't have it. Yeah, mugwort doesn't have a purple flower. Yeah, Artemisia vulgaris. Thank you. Hi, Steve. Steve is also a moderator here. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so mugwort is also used in Chinese medicine, where if you dry it for 9 years, that's when you use it after it's been dried for 9 years. And so there's that that stuff. So, but mugwort is used the same thing. Kind of you chew it up a little bit, let the juices run in it, and then put it on. I have been told one other one here, but I'm not going to say it on here because I've only been told it by one person. So yeah. Yes, the antidote. You'll go take a picture? All right. All right. Jbot says aloe vera applying fresh gel directly from the leaf offers a cooling anti-inflammatory effect. Now, here's a question. Is that so? If you guys haven't watched my aloe vera videos a while back, aloe vera, when you prepare the leaf for use, either topically or for eating, which I've never done, you have to basically get this yellow stuff out of it. Are you talking about using that yellow stuff, or are you talking about after the yellow stuff is gone? And I don't remember what the yellow stuff is called anymore. It can offer a cooling anti-inflammatory effect. I just wonder if it will spread it too. Does it not? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, she also says witch hazel astringent properties from the bark and leaves can help dry out blisters. That's good to know. Plantain. Oh, plantain is awesome. We have two different types at least here. We have narrow leaf and oval leaf, I think is what it's called. Okay, she says the crushed leaves of this common backyard weed act as a poultice and draws out toxins and smooths irritated skin. Now, is that specifically for poison oak or poison ivy? I believe they have the same active ingredient. Yeah. Okay, antidote first, then those other plants for relief. Got it. I was thinking about that with the aloe, that it might spread it. Yeah. Thank you for the video link, Mr. Steve. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, the poison oak here. Poison oak grows wherever there's enough sun for it to grow, and then sometimes in the shade it's like I'm here too. I don't know. Does anybody think a different way to say that? Yeah. Yeah, Verna says here's called broadleaf plantain and ribbon. There's a lot of common names and there's a lot of different kinds of plantain. So when we're talking about plantain, we're not talking about bananas or banana relatives. We're talking about an herb. And it's widely distributed, and it's maybe not native everywhere, but it grows in disturbed areas really well. So yeah. Oh, ribbon or narrow leaf is what Brenda says. Yeah. So these are good things to know. I do want to verify if that other thing is an actual antidote, I guess. It's a preventative, if it is. If it is, it's a preventative. So I'd like to know more about that, and need to get in touch with a regional herbalist. I think would know that. Misty, do you know any regional herbalists? She's a nurse. She might know somebody. Yeah. Anyway, so yes, poison oak is here. Not in great amount on my property, but it's there for sure. And when the trees come down for the food forest, it's going to probably boom pretty big because it'll open up sun. So that'll be when I will know more about what's actually there. And I'm sure there's going to be more there than I think, for sure. Tomorrow's video is about putting out marking whiskers, which are really cool. I mean, you guys want to see what marking whiskers are? And so I put that, I had a friend come out and mark the electric. We still have to mark some of the water, but mark the electric. So I marked that up the hill with marking whiskers after he spray painted, dashed lines up there. And so I know that. Ecology Today, Jbot says, I can find no other recommended plant antidote other than jewelweed. Yeah, it's regional. So there's regional stuff, and wherever, so poison oak and poison ivy, I believe, have the same active component that makes you react. I believe that's the case. You don't. Okay. And if it's not, it's awfully close because the same kind of cures are mentioned for them. Like Technu is a man-made product that is that. Um, if I ever get into poison ivy, J-Bot's gonna mail me some jewelry. Oh no. Yeah, mugwort I know is one. Um, we learned that in a plant communities class, and I know there's others. But I am curious about this one that I'm not sharing yet. So yeah, let me go get a marking whisker, and I will show you what that's all about and tell you about that. Hi, kitties. Hi. Okay, so I Furnace says with the mail system nowadays, you might get it a month after Jay mails it. Exactly. Everything into Oregon goes through Portland. Everything from Oregon to Oregon goes through Portland. I mailed a check to the town 40 minutes away from me. It took 7 days. Anyway, I could not figure out what these were called. Finally, I figured out what they're called. These are called marking whiskers. And what you'll see a poof in the ground. And that has a big old nail. And I show you this on the video, but that's the part that it goes into. So we're just going to go through like this and then pop it in. Oh, come on, just because I'm showing. Pop it in. And then that is ready to be nailed into the ground. It'll be at ground level, and then it'll be a poof. This is a more permanent way to look at what's buried. And then also it is, it's better than stakes in my mind, unless you need to like see from afar where things are. I like this. So that is what I put out. And that is, yeah, that's tomorrow's video. So there is one step in there. I'm at the step now. I have everything approved, all the permit. It's not a permit, it's a notification. A notification in, all that. I'm at the step now where I need to schedule between 2 people to come out here. That's the step I am in. So I'm thinking within the next couple weeks, we're going to have trees down. So that is super good news because you guys know I have been waiting for this food forest forever. Oh, so yeah, I'm excited. Um, J-Bot says, I'm in Canada. Expect border delays of weeks. If they even let it through. Yeah, they wouldn't. I do have my Farmer's Defense sleeves. I actually forgot I had them on. I went to the grocery store and a lady's like, oh, are those gardening sleeves? I'm like, oh yeah, I still have these on. So they're good. I like them. Not sponsored, but I would, you know. What else can I say about them? They are made out of plastic bottles from the ocean. They are UV protection. They are thorny protection, not thorns like blackberries, but thorns like zucchinis. And they're breathable. On the top, like evening gloves. On the top, they have the silicone thingy that keeps them up. I can take them off now. Anyway, I like them. I have a few different ones. Rabbit claw protection, absolutely. And there's the brand. Wait, wrong way. There's the brand. So recommend them. Steve says the poison ivy will be gone by the time they get there. Maybe you should send it yesterday. Oh my gosh. Misty sent me a picture. Not on my phone, you didn't. Okay. Spokesmodel for garden sleeves. You know, if they would like to sponsor me, I would like to be sponsored by them because they're awesome. My dad got me my first pair, and I didn't know what they were, and I use them a lot for rabbits, and I forget to use them for the garden, but you're really good to use for garden. I do have a bunch of sun shirts that I do wear, but it's easier to just grab these and just, anyway, yeah. Okay, Misty, because we're on here, I will check. I'm guessing you maybe Facebook messaged me, which I don't have open because I never have it open. Let's see. You did. That's really far away. Can I zoom in? Why can't I zoom in? I don't know what that purple flower is. It has a very long stalk. I don't know. Sorry. The jewelweed that I know about, yeah, I did, Verna, because it's on Facebook, it doesn't zoom in any further. Anyway, the jewelweed that I'm familiar with is a bush. Is that the same thing that you know about, J-Bot? Let me try that again. I'll try it again. Yeah, there's no way to zoom in on this at all, so I'm not going to deal with that. Anyway, jewelweed is a small plant in Canada. I'm not going to deal with that right now, guys. Open in an editor. What is an editor? Like Microsoft something? Anyway. Okay. Anyway, I will explore jewelweed later. Yeah, jewelweed can grow 5 feet tall. That's the one I'm familiar with, is the one in the Midwest. Does it have yellow flowers? I remember yellow flowers. I could be wrong, but I remember yellow flowers. It's been how many years? More than 20 years since I probably saw the plant. So it's been a long time. Anyway, Rabbit Workshop went really well this weekend. In fact, one of the people there, it says he wants to go attend the next one with his sister. So I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good. Get her involved. So that is good. And we had 13 rabbits, and we processed all of them. And I think it may have been the last one that was a female. All of them, other than that, were males. It was two litters, and all but one were males. So I'm glad we got them before they got older, because that would be a poor little female right there, man. PJ says jewelweed has pretty orange flowers here. We call them seed poppers. And Verna says it's highly recognizable by its dangling spotted orange or yellow flowers, translucent stems, and explosive seed. I don't remember the explosive seed. I'm just going to type in jewelweed in Oregon. Yeah, it's like an orangey yellow. Huh. Yeah, orangey yellow. No distribution in my county, but I mean that's as reported, right, under the Oregon flora. But there might just be less reporting from our county. Anyway, there you go. Jewelry typically has yellow or orange flowers. Jbot says in Ontario, native jewelweed Impatiens capsensis and Impatiens pallidea typically grow between 0.9 and 1.5 meters, 3 to 5 feet tall. Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty tall. That's why one of the names is Touch Me Nots, because to touch the seed pods and the pods explode. Okay. I don't remember that name. Yeah, that's interesting. Missy's asking how the bees are super busy, super busy, and they are loving life. I was going to get into them this weekend and didn't. Maybe later this week I'll get in once they have no rain and no wind. We had some wind. But yeah, I'll be getting into them soon. But yeah, they're doing really good. Yeah. Missy says a woodsman guy told me the same thing you said. These grow right next to the poison oak. I saw in your picture there was poison oak there, but yeah, I just saw like purple thing on a long stem, which to me doesn't look like jewelweed, but it could be some other something that does the same thing. So yeah, cool. I'm gonna sneeze, maybe. Excuse me. Yeah, the bees are doing good. Here's me. Bees are doing good. I thank you. I've been blessed by Bruna. I put the bunnies out to pasture today. We didn't do that on our workshop because they chose. It was getting late and they needed to go home. So anyway, why are you laughing at me? You did. You blessed me. So I did. I put the bunnies out there today. Okay, Misty just sent me this picture. Definitely not jewelweed. You know what it looks like? I'm wondering what the leaves on the bottom look like. Are they basil leaves? Like on the bottom? So hopefully YouTube is okay with me saying the name of a flower. It kind of looks like blue dicks, which is the name of a flower, YouTube. But it's purple. I zoomed in on it. Where are we? Right there. Anybody know that one? Oh. Yeah, I don't know that one. I haven't seen it either. Here. Yeah, I haven't seen that one here. Doesn't say it, I mean, doesn't mean it doesn't exist here. I just haven't seen it. Interesting. We'll have to learn it. I have to learn it. So, yeah. Yep, bees are busy. The bees are busy. They are good. I haven't gotten into them a little bit. I need to get into them. Yeah, thanks, JBot. Yes, so the flower that I named, it's called blue dicks. It is not blue, it's purple, and I think someone was very lonely when they named it. Okay, so she has definition is a striking herbaceous perennial wildflower native to the western United States and northwestern Mexico. It is highly recognizable by its tall, unbranched stem and ends in a dense, starry cluster of 2 to 15 violet, blue, or purple bell-shaped flowers. Bell-shaped is a weird thing because they're up, they're not down, so the its opening is up. But that's what that reminds me of. And I'm trying to think of where I've seen it. If it's near an opening, it might be in there, but it's like not in shade. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Um, yeah, but the bees are good. Electric fence is good around the bees. Knocking on wood. Yeah, I did put the bunnies out to pasture, risotto and penne's groups, and one of Penny's babies was hiding behind her, and Penny didn't want to move. She wasn't like guarding or anything. She just didn't want to move. So I'm like, you can have a baby for a day or two extra. So we'll move that other baby down in a little bit. Um, yeah. So they're down there munching away, and yeah, I did put them in two separate tractors, so all three tractors are full right now. Um, one batch are going to have they're going to be processed in June, and so the one that's in the small tractor, the half size, is gonna those guys are gonna go in there once the other ones are processed, and I think that's fair to do. um, yeah, I think that's good. So yeah, it's lots of bunnies on the path. Right now there are 10 plus 8 plus 8 bunnies out there, and then plus one that will be down there. So you guys do the math. Anyway, Verna's asking, have I added a box to my hive yet? I did add space for them because, man, she was laying like crazy. So 27 total. Thank you, Verna. But I haven't gotten in a couple weeks. So I was going to get in this last weekend, but I didn't. Or I was going to get in. Yeah, it was this last weekend, and then it was all windy. And then I was going to get in this weekend, and then, you know, I didn't. And I was like, well, okay, Monday and Tuesday are going to be a little rainy. The rain that we were supposed to get hasn't come yet. We just had a little bit of rain. That's it. So I don't know what's going on with that, but hopefully we'll get more rain because we need it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be good to get more rain because so my friend mowed my hayfield. I have not baled it up or anything like that. It's just going to stay there, and I know that's probably not the best thing to do, but it is what it is right now. It was getting rid of fire hazard, and hopefully it will decompose into the ground and feed the grass for next year. And then so that's all cut, and I'm starting to see green come up through it. So it's growing, but it'd be nice to have more rain. Yeah. Berta says we had 3 days of it here, rain. Yeah, the thing is, anyway, it's May here, and so I don't think we usually have that much rain at this time of year, but I don't know that I know a usual. Last year was so wet, and then this year was so dry. I don't think I know a usual. Yeah. Um, yeah. So anyway, that's my story. Sticking to it. Um, oh, I did make a video about quail. So I think the people who are on here pretty much know what my story is with quail, why I don't have them, and that I will again. But I did make a video on that because I have gotten a couple of comments on videos like, hey, what happened to your quail? Why aren't you showing quail? So I'll put that out. What do I have filmed? I'll probably put that out maybe Thursday. If not Thursday, it'll be next Tuesday because I have another thing that I recorded. There's no film involved. Yeah, yeah. So that's something that I already recorded and gonna put out. But yeah, infrastructure. This summer is going to be building fences. Unfortunately, that's when the ground is hardest, but I don't have to do it this summer. I can do it in the fall. But I would like to do a lot of it this summer because I think it makes sense to do that. Yeah. And then this winter is this like fall, winter. I'm aiming to start to plant in the food forest, and planting the food forest happens after the fences are up. So that's important. And we'll go from there. Yeah. And Furnace says no one knows unusual or usual anymore. Weather has really changed. Yeah, it has. It has. Yeah, I just don't know what the normal is here. And I'm hoping, I mean, we've already had a couple fires here. I'm hoping we don't have a big fire year. I'm hoping it, that it stays cooler than it's supposed to. We're supposed to have, what is it, a super El Nino? I never remember which is which, and what it means for different places. It means different things for different places. United States, North America, different countries. Like it means different things for different places. But I think it's supposed to be a super El Nino. Let me just look that up real quick. 2026. Oregon. Let's see if it comes up. Warmer, drier winters with below average snowpack, which is what we had. We have no snowpack in Oregon, basically. But they can sometimes trigger volatile, heavy atmospheric rivers. So yeah, we've had extremely dry. Yeah. Yeah, so right now it's saying it's exacerbating Oregon fire season risks across the state. Yeah. And I would agree with that. We basically have no snowpack, which for where I live right here, it's not really relevant because there is no uphill there is uphill, but there's not usually snow on my uphill. Where it comes from is when the water comes down and like into the reservoir and then into the creek around, that's where it becomes relevant. And farming, it becomes really relevant for a lot of farms because they are so much dependent on that snow melt, that seasonal snow melt. Even in California, in the valley, that water that they get in the summer, that's from the Sierra. It's snow melts from the Sierra, and people don't realize how connected things are. So yeah, it's all connected. Yeah. Geobot says a powerful super El Nino is actively developing and forecast to peak in late 2026, with some climate models predicting it to be the strongest event in 150 years. Ouch. Record heat, global temperatures are expected to reach historic highs, combining both long-term climate change and the massive release of heat from the Pacific. Drought and wildfires, dry conditions, and increased wildfire risks are highly likely in regions like Australia, Indonesia, and parts of the Amazon. Ooh. Extreme rainfall. The southern United States, Mexico, and parts of South America face high risk of heavy storms and severe flooding. Yeah, and Verna says means here will be warmer, drier winter. Yeah, and the thing is, so talking about heat, like when I was in California, I was in Gilroy, California, and we had a couple summers that it got up to 115, and it would go up and then back down and up and back down and up and back down, and it was like, this is way too hot. What is going on? I mean, those are 2 years that I didn't get any tomatoes because literally it was too hot for tomatoes. Um, and so it might mean that people choose more heat tolerant tomato varieties. I do have a bunch of Cherokee Purple, some Celebrity. I got what people had at the plant sales and at my neighbor who sells plants had, and so those, I don't know about Celebrity, but Purple Cherokee or Cherokee Purple definitely is a hotter variety, but it's not as hot as the hybrids. The hybrids, they make them for heat, so that might be something for people to think about. A little late to think about unless you're just buying starts, but having them do this ridiculous heat cyclic thing, it's kind of a threat to your tomatoes and probably other crops too. But actually, do you guys know of any other regular garden crops that, like tomatoes, if it gets too hot, the flowers become infertile? Because I don't think that's true for peppers. I have never heard of it, at least. Um, I'm just wondering if you guys have heard of that. Um, yeah. So I have an air conditioner now because I have mini splits. I turned it on a couple times last year, but it's it's really interesting because I'm not used to having an air conditioner. My old house didn't have one. Where I lived before didn't have one. Where I grew up, we had one, but I think we used it maybe 3 times, like not very much at all. And the danger of there's a couple dangers of using your air conditioner. One, if you're in a brownout or a blackout area, um, it can stress the system. But I'm on solar, so I'm assuming that most of the summer I can use however much I want. But if I am nice and cool in here, I am less likely to go check on my animals at the correct time. So setting timers to check on your animals, make sure they have water, make sure they have ice if you do that, all of that is going to be important. And also not to have it too cold because it will shock your system when you go outside and you will not be able to deal with the heat as well. So there is a balance and all of that. But I know for me, I'm probably going to have to set timers because if I'm working and I work from home, so I work full time, but I work from home, and if I'm sitting here at a computer working and it's nice and cool, I might just keep on working like I do most days. I might not go check them in the middle of the day, which I need to be doing in summer. So yeah. All right. Steve says means my weather won't change. Hot and wet. It might get hotter. Yeah. And Verna says heat stress peppers means more heat and flavor. Same thing with herbs. Well, more flavor. Jbot says as I age, having an air conditioner is more important. I have extensive battery backup. Exactly. Yeah, my system, it has, my whole house runs off of the solar that I have, and it's stored in batteries, and it charges the batteries, and then the house lives off of the batteries. If there isn't enough sun to support that or something goes wrong with the system, then it clicks over onto the grid. The only thing that's on the grid all the time is my my dryer because it didn't fit in the panels. That's the only reason. It would if it fit in the panels. The panel that they had only had so many places for the breakers. They really should have a different one. Anyway, yes, Misty says the snowpack is at record low, like it's 0 almost. I mean, it's ridiculously low. Yep. Rose says usually best to keep your air conditioning to where your room temp is about 10 to 20 degrees cooler than outside. That's smart. Oh no, fireworks at Verna's. Fireworks? Is it like graduation or something? Like what else is happening in May? J-Bot says my furnace, dryer, fireplace, and stove are natural gas. Yep. I don't have natural gas here. It was really nice to have a gas stove. That was a good thing. My one here doesn't, but I'm not going to change it. I do like cooking with gas better. I'm not going to change it because I have solar. So I'm cooking for free. So I've learned to cook on electric again, and it's very frustrating sometimes because I just want it to be hot already. Like, why aren't you hot? When I replace the range, which I will at some point for efficiency's sake, I need to do big research about what electric range will be good energy wise, plus okay to have a heavy canner on it and a couple heavy canners, and can act more like a gas range. I'm guessing that the technology is going to get better. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh, Memorial Day. Duh. I forgot today was a holiday. It didn't work. Got it. I always think it's strange to have fireworks on holidays where people who have been in war are being celebrated, and I just think that can affect a lot of people. Anyway, with sound and stuff. Verta says, just remember when you turn off the burners, remove the food so it stops cooking. Exactly. Yep. There's a little bit more to it than that though. Like if you're canning, like if you're pressure canning, you have to make the changes in such tiny increments and then wait. You can't just go, oh, it's going to be right here. Oh, I need it hotter. I need it cooler. I need it whatever. You have to you have to do it in steps and then wait. It's like a hurry up and wait thing. Yeah. I agree, Verna. It does trigger PTSD. That's what I was trying to say. And Steve says they don't celebrate the holiday as it was intended. Exactly. So yes, in memorandum of is what should be. Anyway, speaking of fireworks, being fire safe. I know I've been using my weed whacker a lot. I got my replacement. Let me go get these. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Talking about my scythe. So I got my scythe from the scythe company out of Maine, and I called them and I was like, I need to get another handle. How do I order another handle? Because I need to cut it off and redo it, whatever. So my story is that I put the handle on not the right angle, and anyway, so I called them and I was like, how do I do this? And so here's the business card. Not sponsored. There's the one I got my scythe from, and they gave a big information packet with this. There's my scythe. But warranty, no additional cost. Here's the rear handle, and here is a spare thingy. I don't think I'm going to need the spare thingy, but you see it has that's the left handle. That's the rear handle. So all that. And so what I'll need to do is I'll need to cut off the other one and put this one on. But yeah, I was super impressed, and I should have called them right away because I've been dealing with it. Not sponsored yet, thank you. I've been dealing with it for a long time. Just like not dealing. I've been just dealing with it. Like, okay, I glued it on wrong. I'm going to do this, whatever. And I've been just dealing with it for a long time. And then I'm like, let me call them. Because first I called Gorilla Glue because I use Gorilla Wood Glue to glue it on. And that was a bad idea for the first run. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some Elmer's glue and use that to make sure I have it on right. And because that I can like break open. And then, mark where it goes. So mark on here, mark on there, where it goes. And then use the Gorilla Glue again. So the Gorilla Wood Glue, the only way to get it off, there is no solvent. The only way to get it off is manually. So literally get in there, cut it off, sand it off, all of that. So anyway, I actually haven't looked at this part yet. So what else did they send? They sent a postcard. That. They sent a paper preventing stem failure when mowing. And so they have instructions for that. Replacement of the lower handle stem. This should be the upper. There's a warranty, sales receipt. Awesome. It's a receipt. So it has 0 and has warranty highlighted. So that's pretty cool. Lower handle is not supposed to be the lower handle. It's supposed to be the left handle, the upper handle. I'm going to have to look at mine. What did mine do? I'm just figuring out what I'm doing, guys. Spokesmodel for scythes. Yep. So they sent me an L. Okay, let's not be dangerous with this thing. Let me move this. And not knock over anything. Okay, the sheath just came off. Yeah, I needed the upper. Shoot. Are they the same? They're not the same, are they? Yeah, I needed the upper, not the lower. So I might have to call them again and see if it's the same. They look the same. Anyway, I'm going to put this back safely. The safety thing came off of it because I didn't tie it. There we go. So yeah, it's supposed to be the upper, not the lower. So anyway, so there was a warranty replacement, and I'm sure they'll send me the other one. But very nice people, very nice people. And again, this is one that is built to me. So you do your measurements, you do your, up to your hip and this measurement, and I don't remember what else. But yeah, you do your measurements and they will make it for you. So yeah. No, it's not for lower. Yeah, the L is for lower, not. I said I needed the. I don't remember if I said back or upper, but this is for lower. It's L for lower, and it says that on the warranty thing. So yeah. Okay. Anyway, so what I've discovered is that I have way too many rocks in most places that I want a scythe to use a scythe. I need to use the weed whip, get in, appropriately remove the rocks, and then I can scythe. And a lot of the areas I want to scythe have rocks, and I just need to do that 100% coverage, shuffle along, and find the rocks and toss them in a bucket or something, and then I'll be able to use them because I keep hitting rocks, which is not great for the scythe. Jbot says most common dissolvable wood glue is hide glue or fish glue. Never heard of that. Unlike standard yellow or white wood glues, PVAs, hide glue is completely reversible, readily dissolves when exposed to warm water or steam. That would be a good idea on the first run, but the second run, I want solid. Yeah, because it actually cuts through quite a bit of weight. I want to say. I don't know if I can say it that way. Anyway, Desiree's here. She says, "Hey, welcome, Desiree." Need some cheering up. Tell me all your exciting happenings. I got baby rabbits, 5-week-old, onto the pasture today. They're super cute. They'll be in a video probably next week. They're good. They're good. Furnace says gather enough large rocks, you may be able to build a shelter. The thing is, there was a lot of digging that happened out here for the various projects. And whenever digging happens out here, there are rocks. They're like that big or bigger. But that's the problem, is that I've dug or machinery has dug throughout a lot of the area. And then there's already like a little rock wall over by the parking area, and it's covered with weeds right now. So at this point, the majority of what needs to happen, I'm going to be doing with the weed whip. And then I need to be collecting the rocks, moving them around, getting them off to where they shouldn't be. And then I can use the scythe later. Yeah. All right. Jbot says, I installed 12 galvanized raised beds with adapted hugelkultur underneath. Wanted this for the last 10 years. That is awesome. Congratulations, Jay. That is so great. Raised beds are the best, and doing hugelkultur underneath, what a brilliant thing. I did that on some of my raised beds when I was in California, and it works so well. So yeah. So she also says, I'm future proofing my garden as I age and become more disabled. Exactly. Yeah. It's awesome. Awesome. Anyway, it's basically saying that's a lot and they're huge. Yeah. It's called gardening. Yeah. I have so much vision for this food forest that is not happening yet. It will happen, but I have so much vision for it, and I know it's going to take years to come to fruition. But it's pretty awesome, and I know that getting that started is just going to make me feel so much better. Getting that started, and then once that's started and it's fenced, then that's going to be great. I also need to do a tank. I need to put in a tank uphill of it that I will slowly fill in the wintertime and then use in the summer would be the plan. That's That's my plan, at least. And if I am able to do that, then it makes sense. And I'll be able to water in the summertime with water collected in the winter. That's the plan. J-Bot says small beds, 34 by 34 and 20 by 40. That works. And you know what? I say as long as you can reach to the middle, you're good. You're good. I think 3 feet is probably 4 feet, really. 4 feet is probably the widest a bed should be, but 3 feet is probably ideal in my mind. But 3 to 4 feet is good because it's wide enough to retain moisture, retain the temperature and all that, but it's also not too wide that you can't reach to the center. So look at how big your arm is, and measure that and make sure that you can reach, not just reach to the center, but be able to do stuff in the center. Yeah, but you have galvanized ones, so you don't have to build it. You just go out there, right? Nice. Yeah. I'm not doing garden beds this year. I'm not making garden beds this year. I have like basically raised bed just in a mound is how I'm doing it. Yeah. Yep. Gio says I have a friendly fortress fence on the outside and need to reach across. There you go. At least you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Shawnee's here listening. Welcome, Shawnee. Shawnee's been doing all sorts of stuff. Yeah. I've been spending a lot of my time weed whipping, actually, and that's honestly what I've been doing. But it needs to be done, and probably needed to be done a long time ago. But I did expose a lot of lemon balm, and not expose. I knew it was there, but I think I need to collect some lemon balm. And I know I did that earlier in the year, but since I don't have much going on in the garden right now, I think it's probably a good idea to harvest some of that and dehydrate it or freeze dry it or whatever. And I think that'll be really, really good. It's in this random spot. It's a road. It's not used, but there's a road that was used, I think, when the logging happened on the property, because it's up the side of the property and it's literally growing in the middle of the road in the shade. So I've never had lemon balm growing in the shade on purpose, but it grows great in the shade. And then it's growing a little further up the same road. So it's spreading, which is okay. That's an okay thing to do. So yeah. My plants are outside up against the house though, still. I will be planting, I think next weekend is when I'll be planting. Do I have something going on next weekend? I should check that. And get that in the ground. Yeah, I can do that next weekend. Yeah. Anyway, that's my plan, is to get things in the ground next weekend, and I'll probably plant beans next weekend too. I don't know if they'll come up. Might still be a little cool, but I'll plant beans, and when I do that, I'm going to put some stuff over it. Because I don't want to happen with what happened to my peas, with somebody came in and dug up every single pea except for 2. Yeah. Yep, my bee, it's not a bee class, it's the Southern Oregon Beekeepers Association meeting. But yeah, my bee group meets on this coming Monday. So next week's live will be on Thursday instead. Yeah. And if anybody is interested in rabbit workshop, where I have the date, it's not on me right now, but it'll be in June and mid-June sometime. I don't think I put it in my calendar. Why did I not put it in my calendar? I don't think I did. No, I didn't put it in here. But it'll be mid-June sometime, and so we will see how that goes. There's 10 individuals with that one, and I know someone wanted to get a couple of females and one male out of this last bunch, which good thing he didn't come over because there's only one female out of 13. But it's one of these things that there's 10. So let's say this person comes and gets 3 of them. So that's, is it 11? It's either 10 or 11 that are in there. Let's say it's 10. Then that's only 7. So I probably only want maybe 3 people there. I like to have people be able to at least process 2 of them. So it might be a small group. Yeah, and then the one after that, I might even offer a Friday, a Saturday, Sunday if that is if I have enough interest, because I have 8 and 9, and I think that would work fairly well. I was trying to look. I thought I had June 9th, I think is what I had. So that would be the 13th. I'm going to put this on my calendar as a process rabbits. Okay. So I'm going to put that on the 13th. The 14th of June is our Cook With Me Live. We will be making macaroni salad. So those who are members, please start sending me your ingredients for your macaroni salad. We're going to make whatever, like we're going to just have ingredients and make things and put things together and see what works. So, yeah. So I think June 13th is when that workshop will be. That's the weekend before Father's Day. The Saturday before. Okay. I have to confirm that date, but I think that's what's happening. Okay. Who dug the peas? I don't know. A fox, maybe? It happened at night or early morning. It may have been a bird. The piece of bamboo that I put down as a separator got moved like that much. So I don't know. I just know that there was a divot every place I put a pea, and I planted lots of peas, and it was going to be a really good pea season this year, and nope. So I think what I'm going to do is I have a bunch of 1/4 inch hardware cloth because I was silly and got 1/4 inch instead of 1/2 inch. And I'm thinking about putting that down on top of it for, I don't know how long it takes green beans to germinate, but like maybe 1 day short of that, or maybe on the day of that, and just check it and then take it off when it starts to sprout. I'm thinking about doing that. There's also a lot of bird netting that came with the place, so I could put bird netting over the top, but I really don't want to because I know I'm going to catch birds if I put bird netting. So, yeah. Desiree says, "Oh my God, my beans are growing like crazy. Lentils, not so much." Hey, you take what you can. And sometimes, like, if you were to do the same thing next year, maybe the opposite. So take what your garden gives you and try it again and all that. So, yeah. June 1st meeting, 4th is live stream. Yep. Anyway, doesn't like noodle salad. You can make whatever you want with your noodles. That's the thing about the Cook With Me Live, the membership, is we don't all have to make the same thing. I mean, You don't have, yeah, you say I don't like mayo. You don't have to use mayo. You can use different things. You can use Greek yogurt. You can use, um, people use Italian dressing. You can use mustard. You can use whatever you want. And that's kind of the point of this one, is that we're going to have people submit the ingredients they use in theirs, and we can mix things together, see what like. Hey, if you don't like it cold, heat it up, and then you'll have pasta. So it's fun. It's fun. Verna, you need to make a book. GMTA. I don't know what that means. But she says I would keep it on until it gets to be 4 inches tall. It would push it up though, like it would get squashed or something. Yeah. Verna says I don't like mayo. I use Miracle Whip. Yuck. I'm not a Miracle Whip fan. I'm not really a mayo fan either. Mayonnaise I like on, I like it on broccoli and asparagus, and egg salad is fine, stuff like that. But yeah. Oh, great minds think alike. I actually did know that one. Verna, you're going to make me a book, right? Eventually. J-Bot says for great new salad, substitute noodles with julienne veggies, zucchini, cucumber, cabbage, shredded lettuce, or sprouted legumes for a light, low-carb base. Awesome. If you want a hearty grain-based salad, swap in cooked quinoa, wild rice, or pearl couscous. I have not had couscous in years. Nice. I like the idea with quinoa. And quinoa is a full protein. It's complete protein. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Miracle Whip or Italian dressing either, Anime. We'll find something. We'll find something. Misty has a first aid CPR class June 6th. Awesome. Awesome. I think I took one of yours, was it last year that I took it? So if you guys are in southern Douglas County, and want a first aid or CPR class, Misty does that. How often do you do that? A couple times a year? She administers it. So it's a good class. Yeah. So anyways, yogurt is a great replacement for mayonnaise or yep. Yep. And J-Bot taught first aid and CPR for decades. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. It's good to know. Good to know. Desiree says the only way I'd eat Italian dressing is as a marinade for skewers, which I don't know how to make it actually taste good. I'm not a fan of Italian dressing either. I think it's the vinegar. Is vinegar a big component of Italian dressing? I'm not a fan of vinegar, but I like sweet pickles and dill pickles. I don't like bread and butter pickles. It's the onion. That's why I don't like onion. So yeah. This is the point of this one is we are going to find out what combinations we like. It is a vinegar oil mixture. That's why I don't like it, is because it's vinegar. But Desiree loves vinegar. Okay. Well, you can just use vinegar then. Yeah, use some flavored vinegar. Anyway. Yeah, so that's what's coming up on the 14th. 14th? Is that what I said? 14th? Yeah. So as far as the Italian spices make it Italian. That makes sense. As far as the rabbit workshops, we will do, unless I'd say otherwise in a little bit, it'll be June 13th is a Saturday. And then the next one after that will be, I'm gonna see if I can offer a Saturday and a Sunday. depending on interest, because the one batch is 8, one batch is 9. And I think that'll be enough for people to do that. So I just closed the thing I opened to check. Let's see. Let me reopen this thing. It's a message that I sent to someone. That's what it is. July 13th, around July 13th. Let's see what that looks like on a calendar. July 13th. So that would be the weekend of 11/12 or 18/19 of July. So yeah, I think that would either one of those would work. Or I could even do 11 and 18 if I want to keep it on Saturdays. So if you guys are interested, these are local things because we're actually doing hands-on stuff. If you guys are interested in doing local stuff, definitely reach out to me. And we've had pretty good interest. There's been a couple people that don't show up, and one person that is having other issues and totally understandable. And yeah, so that's fine. But there's interest for these classes, these workshops, and it's all day, and it goes really, really. It's really interesting and it's really good, and I enjoy teaching them. And I've gotten 100% great response so far. So, yeah, yep. The oil in Italian dressing is greasy. I agree, J-Bot. J-Bot says rabbit workshops by Bowtie David. What? He didn't have rabbits, does he? And I would be very different from yours. We dress up as rabbits and please the public. Got it. Yours would be how to wear the rabbit suit. Got it. Yes. Miss J-Bot shovels snow in various costumes, which is absolutely hilarious and fun-loving. Oh. Anime says, looking at lentils, they're all dying. Are they getting the same thing the beans are, or peas, or whatever they are competing with? It might just be they're competing. And sometimes things don't work in your garden, and it's fine. You try again next time. You try a different place next time. Sometimes it's the location, not what you're doing. Oh, too much rain. Rained all week. There you go. Yeah. So, yeah, planting them in a different place where their feet won't get wet is probably a good idea. Yeah. I've not planted lentils before. I've planted fava beans, but I've not planted lentils. That's right. You said it's been raining for a whole week. How's that basement going? Hopefully it's not flooded. Yeah. Hopefully it's not flooded. It is flooded. Okay. Okay. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the ridiculousness of it flooding every time it rains. It needs to be rectified, and you guys need to move out, I think. Yeah, it was flooded last week. Well, I think last week she was saying that it was going to be flooded because it was about to rain. That's what I remember. But or maybe she said something when she was on your live. Yeah, maybe. J-Bot says lentils plant whole, not split seeds, 2.5 centimeters, 4 centimeters, 1.5 inches deep in early May into well-draining soil with plenty of sunlight. Early May, that's a dangerous thing to say. It means different things in different places. Yeah. My first my first kind of thing that I planted out of a bag was, yeah, it is true, was garbanzo beans. I had soaked too many for the recipe that I needed it for. And so I just went out and I just shoved it in the bark chips by my trees. And it was at some point in the winter-ish time. I don't know when. I just know it was raining, and because I didn't water them, they just came up with the rain. And that was the first time that I grew those. And it's like, oh, these grow here. Okay. Yeah. Um, Desiree says, been raining a lot and now stream buffer. What's a stream buffer? Hold on. I don't know what a stream buffer is. Marissa says, the only place I have to grow only gets a couple hours of sun each day. That's challenging. Verna's always up for a challenge, though, right? Right, Verna? Too much water affects lentils and can lead to fungal diseases. Yeah, that's pretty much, as soon as she said had been raining all week, it's like, okay, its feet got too wet and its little roots got too wet. And some plants do fine with that and some don't. So good to know which is which. So exactly, Verna. She says, my stuff grows. That is what is important. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Um, yeah. Well, I'm hoping my stuff grows. I have a bunch of rabbit manure, which is like decomposed rabbit manure, I guess, at this point. The stuff in the actual garden space that I'm planting this year has been there since last year. And then I have some that I'm laying down outside of the current garden within the future garden. And that's, some of it's nearly a year old by now. Not quite. Not quite. But I'm not planning on planting that portion out until next season. Maybe the fall, probably not, but maybe the fall. And yeah, there's going to be changes. There's going to be changes. And I'm happy, and we're finally getting to changes. I just need to coordinate these two people to get things done. The guys say the trees can come out and he thinks he's just going to take 3 days is what he thinks. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Verna says may not be as big as it would elsewhere, but I'm thankful for all I have. Exactly. Exactly. Sun and prairie conditions. Oh, stream buffering means it's paused and loading with the wheel of death. I thought you were talking about like stream like water. That's where I got stuck. Okay. Hey, Wickershire. Welcome. Wickershire says, I'm late. Tea hot still? Well, I was drinking chocolate milk, so no. No, it was not hot. Oh, but you're okay. You're okay. What's going on in your world? Verna says, I'm growing purple sweet taters, target beets, regular sweet taters, and borage. When you say target, are you talking about the Chioggia? The one, or is it a different kind that's called target? I think you said there was a variety that said target. Wickershire says, so the rain is great and bad. Everything with big roots is size doubling. All our starts outside and trays are drowning. Oh no. Oh no. Cold tea works? Yeah. Yeah. Chocolate moo juice. It's gone now. Yep. Jabot saved a comfy spot for you, Wickershire. Yeah. We just got a little bit of rain. We're supposed to get more tonight, and then tomorrow it's supposed to rain. And I think that's it for us. So yeah. Okay, so Verna says, yep, when they get cut, they look like targets. I forgot. Also have sunchokes growing like weeds. Yeah, they're going to grow really good where you are, and you probably don't even have to water them. You have them in containers, so you might have to water them, but they're in the ground. You wouldn't have to water them. Comfrey for you. Well, that too. That too. Comfrey. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I'm going to check the weather here. We're going to get more rain. Rain. Weather channel. Wickershire says my Timo yellow teddy bear sunflower are bright pink. Okay. Okay. Little color difference. Anime. Desiree, a quail laid an egg in the water dish. Because of course, right? Of course this is what she does. All right. Looks like we don't really have much on for rain tonight. Goes up to 9%. Well, 1 a.m.'s 39%, 2 a.m.'s 50, 3 a.m. 60, then down to 46 at 4 a.m. Yeah, 6 a.m. 78. Okay, it's gonna rain tomorrow. And looks like maybe into Wednesday. So that is the plan. Yeah, that's the plan. Will baby better be a good swimmer? Yeah, not quite. Not quite. The bowl's empty. You're doing night tours. Your water bowl should always be full for quail because they will get not fun if they have no water or no food. Yeah. You guys have seen the Snicker commercials where they get hangry, right? That's what quail get when they don't have food or water available. Like, that's the clearest way I can say it. Wickershire says, my chicken run in the rain smells like death. 100% has that, oh, you homestead and have animals for sure kind of smell. Yeah, Wickershire is so important for the runs to be covered. If you have, oh, I guess the rain's coming down the hill. I said it wasn't going to rain much, and then it's coming down the hill. So important to cover them. And especially if you have deep litter. So like I will again, I haven't right now, but I will again do wood chips underneath the rabbits and have the chickens under there. And I will have more than 2 chickens at that point. But wood chips stay wet, so you have to deal with that. You have to make sure they stay dry. And also the if you have sand that stays wet, yeah, you have to cover areas that have chicken poo for sure. Yeah, it shouldn't smell. Anime says I've refilled the bowl 5 times today. They keep bathing in it. Time to get a different drinker. Yep. Jbot says quills and Jbot keeps snacks within 10 inches at all times. Fear the hangry. Yeah, exactly what Verna's saying. Wrong type of waterer. You can get the poultry cups in a container if you want. If you want to have a container on your, because I think you have a hutch, right, or an indoor hutch, if I remember right. You can get like a rabbit water body, like with the square ones, but it has for chickens or for rabbits, whatever that connection there is, you can put that on there. So Rent a Coop has them, and that will save you. Let's see, Rent a Coop. Chick water Stir. And if you're gonna have just a container, really having the mason jar upside down, that will do it. That'll do a good job. Okay, so here I'm going to share this just so we can do some education. Share screen. Okay, so here's one example, rent a coop. Here's a the water there. You can replace those with different kinds of drinkers, and it should be able to hold it should be a screwed in type thing that you can have any type of drinker in there, and that's something like that. It doesn't have to be this one, but something like that is going to be preferred. Because if you don't have water for animals at all times, especially for the quail, especially, then that's going to cause problems. So there's my advice. Wickershire says all these candy companies are being called out for fake food, fake chocolate, fake peanut butter, everything made from petrol products. Just nasty. Pringles have no potatoes. What? I haven't heard that one yet. Yeah, I mean, grow your own food and you'll know what's in it. Desiree says my watering system broke and I can't fix it, so I need to get a new one unless I can get an epithony. I don't know what that is. And somehow magically fix it. In the meantime, a bowl is not going to be the best thing. You should have chick waterers from when they were chicks. They can drink out of that. There's that'll be better than a bowl, in my opinion. And other people who have quail in here, please chime in on potential fixes. But you should have a chick waterer from when they're little, and I would use that. Verna says homemade, homegrown junk food is great. You know, the one thing that I might try this year, if the sweet potatoes do well, I would love epiphany is what they're trying to say. Okay. I would love to make sweet potato fries, because the sweet potato fries that I've had at places are either really good or really disappointing. The last place I asked if they had I asked if their sweet potato fries were thick, and they said, yeah, they're about that thick in one direction. The other direction was like that. I'm like, it's like a shoestring. That's not thick. That's not satisfying. It was very sad. Like, don't tell me something's that thick if it's this thick. Anyway, yeah, purple sweet potato fries would be great. Yep. So I want to try that, and my what's it called? Toaster oven. The toaster oven that I got, I believe, has a what's the fryer thing called? Air fryer. I believe it has an air fryer setting. I haven't used it, but that would be where I would use it is to make sweet potato fries. I don't know if it works that way. Has anybody tried that? Yeah, I spent a little extra on it because I wanted it to have, well, that was on a lot of them, but I wanted to have the proofing function because as the people know who do the Cook With Me Live, I do not keep my house at a temperature favorable for bread to proof at. But since I've had this device, this toaster oven that has the proofing function, it's so much better. It proofs at the right, 80 degrees, and you can set it there and let it go, and it's great. But the other thing that I thought was great is the capability for it to be air fryer, which I haven't used yet. I don't really have great need to use that that way. I know I had an air fryer before, and when I was with my ex, he's like, "Can I have this?" I was like, "Yeah, go ahead and take it." He used it more than I did, and he used it for sweet potatoes, just cooking a sweet potato in the air fryer instead of in the toaster oven or in the oven. So I'm like, "Yeah, go for it." Um, I also left my toaster oven with him when I moved here, and figured I can get a new one. It's not worth moving it. And good thing. I mean, I got a more expensive one, but it's good because I use electricity. I use a lot less electricity than the range. Um, I don't use my my big oven, for very much, unless I'm doing something large or doing something like on the channel, for a Cook With Me Live that requires, multiple things. I can use both of them at the same time too, which is pretty cool. So much flavor, exactly. Wickershire says, been to very few barbecue places that had thick cut sweet potato fries, always coated in something wonderful that makes them even better, almost like a brown sugar and salt and pepper dry rub with cayenne. That sounds yummy. See, the thick cut is so much better. So much better. Verna says, and since you don't have a gas oven, no auto proofing there. Yeah. Yep. JBot says, yes, you can absolutely use a toaster oven with an air fryer function for sweet potato fries. It is actually one of the best ways to cook them, giving you a crispy exterior and fluffy inside. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Thank you for brightening my day. Yeah. Yeah. Anime's back to quail. The bowl was working fine up until 2 days ago when they started bathing in it. My chick water is being used on my chicks right now. I thought about using automatic dog water I have, but it won't fit. Yeah, it's you'll find something else. You'll find something else. Um Fixing your system is probably the best, or getting something new. Yeah. JBot says I only use the big oven if cooking 2 to 4 things, rarely. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, unless I'm cooking for other people or the item is big, I don't usually use it. Yeah. Wickershire says moved a few times and always lose a few cool gadgets with the same mindset. Oh, we'll get a new one. Never happened. Yeah, there's some stuff that happened with, but I did finally get it took a while to get a what's it called, toaster oven. So my previous toaster oven as well as my air fryer I had bought with credit card points, and I was going to do the same with this one, and I was looking at it, but it didn't have the proofing function. And whenever I look on the credit card points, I always then look it up online and see, like, oh, well, what are the real, what do people have to say about it? What are the different options, all this stuff? And it didn't have the proofing, but there was one that had a proofing. And I was like, I'll just buy it. So, yeah. It did take a while, though, for me to actually do it. But yeah, it replaced both those things, so that's good. We're saying blessings all. Time to take Lucy out. We'll have a good walk with Lucy. Give her a hug. Lucy's a doggy. Yeah. Yeah, efficiency of use, right? So, oh man, it's raining now. You guys probably can't see. Oh, it's not really raining back here. Is it? Okay, it's raining. The rain is coming this direction. I see it out that window. It's not here yet. Anyway, efficiency of use, right? So we use these. Now I hear it. Oh, funny. We use these smaller pieces of equipment, kitchen equipment, um, and really normalize their use. When I first got a toaster oven, I thought I was just going to use it every once in a while for certain things. Nope. Use it for everything. You get one big enough that it can fit different things in it. Now, I need to get like another baking sheet. It would be nice to have muffin trays of that size, have some different things of that size. I don't have it right now. Yep, it just hit. That's so funny. It's raining here back here now. You guys hear it? That's so funny because I could see it coming from the over across the valley, but it wasn't here yet. Now it's here. Anyway, Worcestershire says we use a huge big air fryer off grid, no oven here. Thanksgiving is hams or turkey breast, no full bird with bones, less mess, all good. No rain sound. Okay, I don't know if that helped or not. It just discombobulated the light. Yeah, I have done a turkey in my pressure cooker. So I have a New Wave, a 13-quart New Wave, which they don't make anymore. And that was super, super yummy, super, super moist, but did not look the greatest. Like you didn't get that nice golden yum yum. You got a really, really moist bird. So it was like, maybe not for the Thanksgiving table, especially since you can't then pick it all up because it would fall apart. But it was super good. I have a turkey in the freezer. I gotta do something with it. Worcestershire says the other day I got to watch someone try to debone a catfish with one of those electric knives. What? Didn't happen, but it was a great 10-minute struggle of human versus improper tool. What do you mean they tried to debone it? Are you talking about the electric knife, for like a carving knife? That's interesting. I'm not a fish person, so I don't know all the intricacies of deboning. I do know that the bones are very small and all of that. They did use that. Yeah, that is insane. I agree. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Man, that's a nice sound. Hopefully you guys could hear it when I zoomed in. That's pretty funny that I could see it before I heard it and all that. So, um, anyway, next week's live chat is going to be on Thursday. So that is, what did we say, the 4th? Let me confirm. That's the 4th. So on Monday, I'll be at the Southern Oregon Beekeepers Association meeting. And so I won't be here, but I'll be back here on Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And oh, you couldn't hear it on the Zoom in, but you can go outside and hear it. Yeah. Steve, can you go outside and listen to my rain? Don't blame me for your storms. That was last year. How funny. Anime says, is there a reason they would start bathing in water? Is my bowl too big? It used to last all day and night without running out. Who knows? Quail make these decisions. It could be. It could be. Yeah. It probably is too big an opening. You want them to not. So quail naturally aren't going to be bathing in water. They're going to be bathing in dust. So they're dust bathers. They're not water bathers. And so having them jump in there, I'm wondering if they're doing it on purpose or not. I don't know. I don't know. J-Pot says, innocent look, move outside so we can hear the rain. This is close enough. I'm going to mess with the light again. Okay, that's what you get. Let me start this. Okay. Bees. What are we talking about? Bees. Bees are good. Bees are good. I have bees. Worcestershire says heavy rain off grid is just a potential extra shower, no matter how much the wildlife protests. Nightbot activate rain sounds? What? Okay. Anyway, it's there. Trust me, it's there. Okay, well, you looked outside. All right, guys, it is dinner time. I already got everybody outside fed, so that's good. And I get everybody inside fed. All right, guys, thank you for coming. Again, if people are interested in rabbit workshops, let me know. There's going to be 2 more batches, maybe 3 workshops, maybe 2 workshops. It's going to depend on how many people have interest in July on that. But there'll be a June, kind of early June and a mid-July workshop. So thank you for coming. And if you're interested in that, that'd be good. If not, that's fine. Nighty night, J-Bot says, late night here. Yes, you're up late. Late. All right, we will see you guys next week, and we will rabbit costuming workshops will be there. Okay. You can have a workshop at your place, and I'll have a workshop at my place. How about that? Thank you, Shawnee. She says peace. Great chat. Awesome. All right, we will see you guys next time. Hopefully by then I'll have my garden planted out and maybe the trees started, maybe not, at least scheduled. And we'll go from there. So thanks for coming, and we will see you next week. Enjoy the week, guys.